Tesla earnings are out and we have all of the numbers to break down with you. Tesla stock is currently down about 1.8% in after hours, but boy, is it much better than feared. A couple little weak points we'll touch on here in this video, but the real juice is going to be on the earnings call like we already know. But pretty exciting numbers we're going to talk about. You got to give it a round of applause for Tesla because it was quite an impressive quarter. It could have been a lot worse. So let's get into it. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and let's go. So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen, some of the highlights here, just straight down to your EPS, your margins, all of that, top line revenue. You have EPS non-GAAP. GAAP stands for General Accepted Accounting Practice. That is typically non-GAAP is what you actually like to look at more or less, okay? The estimate was 73 cents. And that was the number we've went over plenty of times. It came in at 71 cents. So 2 cents lower, not a big deal. EPS on a GAAP basis, just general accepting accounting practices, came in at $2.27 per share because of a over $5 billion added bonus that they received. I'm not exactly sure how that is. I believe it would be due to the rundown of your other models, like not the Cybertruck, but Model S and X. Potentially that would make some sense, but we have to look into that more. The estimate was 59 cents there. Revenue came in at 25.17 billion, lighter than what I expected. I was estimating about 26.2 billion. The estimate on Wall Street was 25.7 billion, so a little bit of a miss there, but nothing too bad. GAAP net income came in at $7.98 billion, and total GAAP gross margin came in at 17.6%. So auto gross margins beat expectations. Wall Street had an expectation of around 17% or so. So this was quite a beat. The face value numbers here, honestly, on the strong side. Slight miss on EPS. Again, slight miss on revenue, at least the estimates. Now, this was kind of in the middle of broad estimates. That was, these estimates come from Wall Street Journal, different places. So your average Tesla bull did not expect, some of these numbers. Tesla increased their cash and investments $3 billion in this quarter, bringing the total to 29.1 billion. Okay, so here is the one-time non-cash tax benefit of 5.9 billion recorded in Q4 for the release of valuation allowance on certain deferred tax assets. So not a big deal there. Now, this is probably why the stock initially did fall a little bit. It says, before Tesla purchased the Fremont factory, the record output of the previous owner was nearly 430,000 vehicles made in a single year. In 2023, the Tesla Fremont factory produced nearly 560,000 vehicles thanks to our $20,000 Fremont-based employee, or 20,000 Fremont-based employees. At Gigafactory Texas, we began production of the Cybertruck and delivered the first units to customers. We expect the ramp of the Cybertruck to be longer than other models given its manufacturing complexity. Right here, it says, our company is currently between two major growth waves. The first one began with the global expansion of the Model 3 Model Y platform, and the next one we believe will be initiated by the global expansion of the next generation vehicle platform. In 2024, our vehicle volume growth rate may be noticeably lower than the growth rate achieved in 2023. As our teams work on the launch of the next generation vehicles at Gigafactory Texas in 2024, the growth rate of deployments and revenue in our energy storage business should outpace the automotive business. So what does that mean? Tesla grew at 34% last year. You're not going to grow likely even close to that. Now, we don't have a definitive number as of right now. From anything that I can see or any of the reports, we're not getting a definitive number. We'll probably get one on the earnings call, but that could also be affecting Tesla stock at least a little bit in after hours. It says Cybertruck production and deliveries will ramp throughout this year. In addition, we continue to make progress on our next generation platform. Again, very vague language about the next generation platform, but it has been mentioned multiple times in this quarterly update deck from Tesla. And I do believe we're going to get more information on the earnings call, and that is going to be a big driver of what happens next with Tesla stock. Goods sold per vehicle dropped to $36,250 or so in Q4, down from $37,500 in Q3. And Tesla did note that some of the improvements and planned downtimes, like 2 days for Fremont, like a day for Giga Shanghai, they did have a material impact on driving costs lower. So quick little summary of what we know so far. The numbers themselves pretty good. Margins beat expectations. We're expecting margins will go lower since we did just get price cuts, but we have no definitive guidance, if you will, on where margins are likely to be in 2024. No forward-looking guidance there. No definitive forward guidance as well for 2024 so far, just that we may not achieve the growth rates of last year, which was about 33-34%. So does that imply high 20s, low 20s, in the teens? Who knows? Those are going to be things that drive Tesla stock higher, and then the overall earnings call itself. Is it constructive? Is it a good earnings call? So let me know what you think so far, and we are going to go ahead and go over all of your other news that you need to know on our markets and Tesla stock today. We will be going over the earnings call, breaking down the most important things that were said, coming at 8 o'clock tonight, so stay tuned to the channel for that one. On the day today, before Tesla actually reported earnings, you did have some option activity from hedge funds and institutions, slightly on the negative side, which is interesting because retail investors were the big buyers today, and we'll see coming by tomorrow, you know, where things ultimately stand, who is right, who is wrong. But on the hedge fund institutional side, you had 639 orders totaling $247.68 million and a positive order value of 45%. Retail investors seen volume on the call side of 58.22% and volume on the put side of 41.78%. I can also draw a pretty definitive conclusion. As you know, Tesla stock has fallen about 10%, about 10%, over 9%, less than 10% the last 3 quarters. So a lot of this option activity from hedge funds and institutions was likely just hedging out a longer longer term position in Tesla stock itself. On the day today, the S&P 500 hit a new all-time high with the SPY hitting 488.77. This market just does not give up. S&P up about 0.5%, following Netflix earnings last night that came in a lot better than expected on your subscriber growth. Oil was up 0.62%, not great, not terrible. The dollar was a big boost to our markets today. The dollar being down 0.5% is a real change of tone for the dollar, because the dollar has been rising ever since December 28th. December 28th is precisely when Tesla stock hit its high of the last month or so at $265 per share. Pretty much continuously, the dollar has been going higher since then. Now, the dollar going higher is bad for a stock like a Tesla, a multinational company that takes in Chinese yuan, Japanese yen, sterlings, pounds, euros, and converts it back to dollars. The stronger the dollar is, the less you are going to get for your earnings in foreign currencies. You guys might understand this a little bit better if you travel to other countries when you convert your money, right? When the dollar is low, that means travel is, well, easier. My apologies, that's actually backwards. When the dollar is higher, that means you get more bang for your buck with other foreign currencies. Tesla stock has an RSI of 28.30, so the stock is oversold for the first time, I believe, in years. Heading into earnings, even last earnings, you were not oversold in the RSI. You were about 40 on the RSI, which is under neutral. You're more bearish than bullish, but you were not oversold yet. It was the next day after last quarter's earnings on October 19th, when Tesla stock fell 9.3%, that you actually got into oversold territory, and then you fell for about another week or so, hit the bottom, and well, you were off to the races from there. From the low about a week following earnings, over the course of the next 2 months until December 28th, Tesla stock rallied about 36.5%. Does that continue? We will have to wait and see. Rivian has filed to host a worldwide product launch event in Laguna Beach, California in March. It's expected the company will finally unveil their R2 platform. Vehicles on Rivian's R2 platform are expected to be smaller and less expensive. Gary Black is adding commentary to the news that we previously reported here on this channel. Gary Black says, unlike other Tesla product launches, Tesla has no incentive to tell suppliers the $25,000 car will be ready by mid-2025 if it won't be ready until 2026. The potential cannibalization of the Model 3 is too high if it's not ready on time. Canoo today announced the U.S. Postal Service will purchase 6 battery electric Canoo vehicles. The Postal Service will take delivery of these 6 right-hand drive versions of the LDV 190 in Q1 2024. Europe's largest political party wants to stop the 2035 combustion engine ban. I think solid growth trends are in play for Tesla because of one, brand loyalty to Elon. A lot of people love Elon or either hate Elon. And number 3, and most importantly, this probably should have been number 1, but the technology, the power, the innovation that Tesla provides to customers and consumers. So I think this would be a little disappointing, at least for the stock and some investors down the line if this were to happen. But is it going to change anything materially for Tesla? Probably not. Keep in mind, the entirety of Europe is only Tesla's 3rd most important market, whereas when the $25,000 vehicle actually comes to be, Europe might become the 4th largest market if a country like India were to see some really good demand for the $25,000 vehicle. Just to be clear, US, China, Europe, that's the order as of right now. And then you get into other specific countries like Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, Japan, so on and so forth, start to go down the line. As far as relevant importance for Tesla and where the majority of Tesla's deliveries do come from, Tesla Sweden is expanding operations, fueling IF Metal's strike. The company is hiring for a new workshop in Stockholm. IF Metal plans to stand outside Tesla's new workshop and picket. Holmar's Catalog posted this 1 minute 27 second ride with FSD. I believe this one is sped up a little bit. He says it's so effing good. FSD 12. Elon says FSD version 12 is a breakthrough. Then Holmar's Catalog responded to Elon's comment and says, that's exactly what I was saying earlier today. And he said FSD beta 12 is the breakthrough we've been waiting for. The union chair who was prepared to drive Tesla out of Sweden is going to step down. Teresa updated her LinkedIn page to country manager for Tesla in Mexico. This is Teresa Gutierrez, who is going to run operations in the country of Mexico. Tesla did a live stream tonight on WeChat in China to talk about the Cybertruck ahead of their national tour in 8 different locations. Behind them are 3 Cybertrucks. Now, Elon has previously stated it's going to be very hard to get the Cybertruck road legal in China, which I find interesting that they're doing a national tour for obvious reasons, right? A captivating vehicle like the Cybertruck could have a halo effect in China on other Tesla models, but is there a larger reason than just that? Is the Cybertruck going to push for a potential entry into China? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Sawyer Merritt is speculating why the $25,000 vehicle is being codenamed Redwood. He says, number 1, Tesla's co-founder JB Strobel left Tesla in 2019 to start his own battery recycling company called Redwood. It was always Tesla's long-term goal to make a low-cost mass-market EV. He rejoined Tesla in 2023 as a board member. Number 2, Redwood trees are very tall trees that can grow over 400 feet tall. Tesla codenaming their next-gen vehicle Redwood would refer to the fact that this project is a tall order from a cost reduction, production, and efficiency standpoint, but certainly doable. I think that overall makes quite a bit of sense. It appears that Tesla Australia is restarting new Model 3 deliveries by the weekend, if not potentially sooner. The United States Postal Service has unveiled its first set of all-electric delivery vehicles and charging stations at its South Atlanta sorting and delivery center. The UPS plans to use 66,000 electric delivery vehicles. Car rental giant Sixt announces plans to buy as many as 250,000 Stellantis vehicles a month after informing customers that it was dropping Teslas from its EV fleet. Apple has now pivoted to a less ambitious car design and delayed the EV launch to 2028 from 2026. The car will also now only have level 2 autonomy. That's a downgrade from previously planned level 4. Beyond Tesla earnings today and after hours, you also have IBM, ServiceNow, Las Vegas Sands, Lam Research, and a couple other companies. Tomorrow, pre-market American Airlines, NextEra Energy, Alaska Airlines, Southwest, NextEra Energy, Dow, Blackstone Group, and Union Pacific. Tomorrow and after hours, Intel, Visa, Capital One, Levi's, and Western Digital. And then Friday morning, American Express. A big theme of the next 24 hours, besides the earnings we got today and after hours, is going to be airlines, travel, leisure, hospitality, railways with Union Pacific. That's actually very important for domestic transporting of goods across the U.S. specifically, and even Canada, because what are they saying about pricing, about inflation pricing, about the quantity of goods being shipped? That could be a good leading indicator to be watching for. So something I will specifically be paying attention to that I don't think a lot of the markets will be. Also, Intel will affect Nvidia, presumably AMD more specifically. AMD, Intel seem to have a pretty strong sympathy reaction. If you take a look as well, Capital One, Visa, and American Express reporting, do they follow the same fate as Discover? Discover is putting up more money for their loan losses, about $1 billion, which is about double what they had before, because they expect a lot of people are not going to pay back their credit cards basically ever. So is that the case for Capital One and American Express? What do they have to say about the state of the American consumer? We do have some very important data coming out tomorrow as well. That's going to be the big story really for the markets, and we'll go over that in the next video when we break down Tesla's earnings call. Let me know what you think about all of this breaking news today and Tesla's earnings. I would love to hear your opinions down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to come trade earnings like Tesla and other stocks, swing trades, day trades, cryptos, we're doing all of it. Long-term investing over there. You want to definitely check it out at the very least. I promise there's not a baby screaming in the background that's teething, getting his front teeth and not the bottom ones. I don't know how that's happening. Must be gravity. I don't know. But nonetheless, my name is Michael Tyler. Check that link out down below in the description of this video. If you guys want to come follow the X account as well, Michael Tyler over there. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you at 8 p.m. tonight.